This is a very short recording that shows you how to upload an article to one of our websites. I'm on the home page of the Xero Maintenance websites, and I'm going to go across to the menu on the left and click on Features We Provide, because that links to some of the websites we've built. The website I'm going to go to is the one for Belhaven Church, and as you can see, like many other websites, it's got some menus across the top here, and there are also drop down menus with different topics within it. So we can go to different topics. We can go to, for example, the flower rota, and you can see just one article there. So I'm going to add a new item to that. I'm actually logged in at the moment, and when you're logged in, a new menu appears here which gives you new options. So one of the things you should notice, if I log out, that menu disappears and I get a login form. When I log in, the menu reappears. So when the menu's there are various additional things I can do. One of the things I can do is submit an article. So if I go to submit an article, what I get is a small word processor that allows me to put in a new title, new information. We have some new members of the committee. Whatever new information you want. This looks as if I'm now ready to finish it. I could save it like that. Like any word processor, I can also add things like italics, and if I want to, I could add a table. So you could have a little table that's added with name, contact details, responsibility. So that's basically how you can add a table. As you see, the columns get wider automatically, and that allows you to lay out some information in that format. So there's quite a lot of things you can do within that word processor. When I'm ready to save it though, there's one absolutely essential thing, which is to make sure it goes in the right category. I'm going to move this back because I've not made it very tidy. There we go. So what you've got to notice is that as well as the content tab up here, there are some other tabs. You won't need most of them, but the one that you absolutely do need is the publishing tab, because when I click on that, you can see the categories. So what I'm going to do now is select the correct category for this information. The category in this case is the flower rota, so if I click on that, I can now save it. And the great thing about it is it now saves it in the correct place. So as long as the category is correct, when I go to flower rota, you'll find there's now some new information. There's the article that I've written. Now, if you made a mistake and it should have been in a different group, you can go to here and edit it. The little cog allows you to do different things. Again, it appears when you're logged in. So when you log in, I can now edit it. So I can change the category. So let's say it wasn't the flower rota at all, it was the men's group we were talking about. Select men's group, it's now in a different category. Now notice again where I am here. There are different tabs that are not always very easy to notice. So I'm in the publishing tab that allows me to tell it the category. If I want to go back to the content tab, I can go back to content and edit the detail. So there's two different tabs that I'm using here, content and publishing. There are other advanced features that you can add, but you don't normally need these. The ones you normally need are just these two. The content tab, where you actually type stuff in, the small word processor, and the publishing tab, where the single most important thing is to get that category right. So I'm now going to save it as the men's group, and now when we go back to the flower rota, that article has disappeared from there, and under men's group it has appeared. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but there's another sneaky thing, which is up here. That article, the one called New Information, has now appeared in recent articles. On this particular website, anything that appears in the men's group appears under recent articles, but for the Flower Rota, which is just about who's on duty, it doesn't appear as recent articles. So when it's set up, we can choose which articles appear, but it's all about the category. Now, one final thing, because what could happen by mistake is when you type in this new information, we'll go back and edit it. So this says back in editing. Remember again the two tabs for the content and the publishing. What happens, I'm going back to uncategorized. So I've not told it which category it's in. So the content is still there and I save it. So we've got new members of the committee. We've saved the article. The problem is we can't actually find it, because if we look through all these things, it's not a sermon, it's not prayer for the week, it's not the Flower Rota, it's not, we've lost the article. So you could write a new article, but it is still available through the search facility. So if you, one of the words we used was responsibility. So let's just see, click on the search button and here's the search that's taking place down here. Responsibility, search for all words. Oh, no words. I may have mistyped it. Responsibility. So you have to be careful, obviously, getting. Still not sure if that's absolutely right. Hey. Oh, that was just our 3D one, by the way. I'll show you that as well, which we're here. If you actually click on this photo, one of the things we've got is a nice 3D image inside the church, which you can move around. There you go. So if we go back to the search, down here we've got 16 things, and oh, here we go. Here's the new information, which is uncategorized. So click on new information, and again we want to edit it, because there's two things we can edit. One is the content, which we've got here. The other one, remember, you have to go to the publishing tab and say, oh, actually this was Wednesday worship. Put it in there, and once it's in the right category, we can actually find where that was, and the new information is there. So there's really one very simple message in all of this, which is always put it in a category. Always put it in the right category. If it's in the correct category, it will appear in the correct place in all the menus. You can search for it, you can find it any way you want. So uploading is very easy. Miniature word processor, always remember the category. Hope that's been helpful. Thank you.